and hi everyone. Thank you for joining in. And thanks to EBPL for this creative opportunity every time I say this, and I really mean it. So, Melissa, as she has already introduced me, I just want to say I just love everything about art. So, this session is about learning the basics of brush pens art and creating a lovely floral design. It's kind of a bouquet that you can see here, and it's quite easy, and especially easier when you do it with the brush pens. So before beginning the session, I just want to say have fun with your brush pens, and as you learn the basic techniques of this art, I think you will be able to finish it even after the session. So no need to hurry, just enjoy. And so without any further ado, let's start the session. I hope you all have a white cardstock paper or a normal printing paper and some brush pens. You can even keep a lead pencil, eraser, or a sharpener if needed, but mainly we need a white cardstock paper or a printing paper and some brush pens. So this is what we are going to make, something like this, similar to this. And you need to get the paper horizontally like this. Place it horizontally, that would be better. And I'm just placing it so that it's clear to everyone. So first of all, we need a green shade, any green shade. If you have a light shade, preferably use a white shade, a light shade of green. And then we'll move on to a darker shade. I've taken a light green color and just showing you for the idea, this is what we are going to make, the stems of the bouquet, these curved lines. So I'm starting with a light green color. Starting somewhere here, you can see, just use your judgment and draw the curves. It's very simple. This is the first curve I drew. Try to do with your tip, with the tip of your brush. So I started from one side and ended here. And I'll be adding more of these, almost parallel, a little wavy and curved, just to give a natural look to the stems. Like this. Add more, about 3 to 4 of these, or you can even make 5, your choice. I'll just zoom it in case it's not clear. So there is also a technique which I would like you all to know. This is called hatching. When you draw these lines almost parallel to each other and in the same direction, it's called hatching. And the next thing what I'm going to do is I'm going to cross them over. Now here I'm using I'm trying to lay down this brush and giving a broader look to my curve like this. And I'm adding more of these, about 3 to 4 curves. So you can even see I am giving a little bit of break in between. This is also a way to give a finer lines like this. So this is how we have made some stems or curved lines. Now, the second thing what I did was I used these lines to cross the previous lines. So this technique is called cross hatching. So first was hatching. The second, when we are crossing it, it's called cross hatching, which is quite simple to learn. I hope you all must have done till here. It was quite an easy step. Now, as I had taken a light green color, I prefer to use a darker color to overlap the light curves that I have made. And I'll just show in case you're not able to understand. I am just overlapping the dark color like this on my light color, that is the light green color, light green colored lines or stems. And you can just dive them on it smoothly. If you want to add some darker curves or darker stems, you can add more of them, the way I'm doing right now. Try to use the tip if you want to make a thinner line. Try to use or bend or lay down your brush pen in case you want to make some thicker lines or thicker design. Now I'm done with the darker color. First two techniques were hatching and cross hatching. The third technique is, here I'm using my light green color again, and I am just diving it in. I'm just putting it on again on the dark color. So this process is called blending, when we blend two colors together. You can see in your artwork what you are doing, that these two colors will blend in together and will make a nice shade. And you can even fill in the white space in between with your light green color if you want. Because more the colors, the better your art will look. So we are done with the stems. The next thing is, we're going to make the flowers. This is the first flower I'll teach. It's a rose flower and a very easy way to make it. So I'm going to take, as you can see in the picture, I'm going to take a light pink color. You can even grab any other color of your choice, but please try to take a light color. It may be a yellow color, it may be a very light orange color, or you can even take a purple color if you want. So let's start. Now, please see this technique first and then try to make it, because we are going to repeat this process about 2 to 3 times, because we are going to make about 3 flowers of this kind. So let's draw a simple oval shape like this. Now, from one of the points of this circular design that you've made, try to keep your marker or your brush pen laid down like this and circulate it like this. Now you can see that there is a little space I'm leaving in between, like this. You can leave little bit of space or white space in between, which will give a good effect when we give a final look to our rose flower. Now, try to add a few curved corners to your flowers, like this, somewhere here, a curved corner, then a curved corner here, then here. Just use your judgment wherever you feel like putting it on, because ultimately your flower will look good once it is complete. Now, if there is a lot of white space in between, try to fill it in more, like this, because we are going to use another shade, a darker shade. I've used light pink color. Since I use a light pink color, I am going to use a darker color, which is red color. For the red color, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a few curved lines with the tip of the brush pen, like this. I'll zoom it a little. So these are the curves I am giving, just leaving a little bit of space in between them according to my judgment, so that it gives a look of petals bloomed in this rose flower. Now, I had used a light pink color. I used a red color for the curves. And next is I'm going to use another, the same color, that is a light pink color, again, on the red curves that I have made. So I'm doing this to introduce you to another technique, which is called blending, which we usually do. We blend two colors, but this technique is specifically called blending. I'm using the same pink color and putting it on my curves again. You can see it is blending it together with the base of pink color that I made. And there is one more thing, if we add more pressure to our brush pens, the same color will give about 2 shades. Initially, it will be light. If you put more pressure, it will become a little dark. Now here I'm blending the dark red color and the pink color together. So now it's giving a good darker shade in between. So this technique is called blending, when we mix two colors together. Now I am just using these two colors. Now again, I'm coming back to my red color. And I'm going to do the curves again. So that blending was just to add one more shade with my brush pens. You can add the curves as per your choice. Now in the middle, there is some white space. I'm using yellow color just to cover it up like this. In case you want to make your flower a little big, you can add more curves, more circular design to it. And this technique is also called scumbling. When you keep on adding color to your flower by rotating it or by using a circular motion, this process is called scumbling. Now, I am using the light pink color again. In case your flower seems to be a little small, you can add more color to it. Next thing is, take any dark color like a brown color and add some dots in the middle. That's the yellow color. On this yellow color, just add a few dots just to give a natural look to your flower. And this technique is called stippling. It's a very simple process of stippling, and this technique is also used in making nice colorful backgrounds. So next thing is, take your light green color and make few leaves around. I'm going to make a leaf, a simple leaf, one curve and second curve. And just fill in the place, the white space in between, by moving your brush pen to and fro, forward and backward. I made one more. You can make as many leaves of your choice. The basic aim is to learn the technique so that you can use them later in your future artworks. Now I'm going to add a few stems on the side of this flower. Make a line, a curved line, and add a few leaves to it. The way I made the first two leaves, I'm making a few small leaves. So we can add more of these stems, a curve, and then a few leaves again. Here I'm using a light green color because I want to use a darker green color later on it, overlapping it and blending it. So I'm using a dark green color now and overlapping this dark green color over my light green color. So the way we did it earlier, this is also called blending, when we mix two colors together. Okay, I have Castle Art brand marker, these brush pens, and they're easily available on Amazon. So next thing is very simple, and I am taking a purple color for this. And it's a very simple, small flowers that will add more glow to our bouquet. I'm just adding a circle around the first flower that I made. I hope it is visible. I'll just zoom it. And what I'm going to do is make some triangles or triangular shape for the petal. And I would recommend please use the tip of your brush pen to make an outline. And I'm just overlapping a few petals on this flower. I think that would look natural. So next is very easy. Just shade it in with the same color with which you made the outline. The color choice is yours. Any color that you like for your flowers, because the aim is to learn the techniques of brush pens. And I'm adding same kind of flowers, about 2 to 3 around this flower, the first flower that I made. Same technique. The way we color inside the flower or any other design, we just move our marker to and fro. So this is also a technique which is called forward and backward shading or forward and backward strokes. Now I'm adding one more flower. Same way I did for the first two ones, and just color it in. The way I did the middle of that first flower, I just colored it with yellow. I'm coloring the same way with yellow color. Till the time everybody can complete this part, I am just repeating the same step as I did for the leaves. I'm just adding a few leaves here and a few leaves around this flower. So there is nothing new we are going to learn. So if you are completing something, you can complete it. I'm just adding a few more leaves here, about 2 leaves. You can use any shade, light or green, light green or dark green for your flower. And I'm adding a few leaves in between the petal of these purple flowers that I have made, the small flowers. You can use your judgment wherever you want to add the leaves. It's a simple way of just making a droplet shape and coloring it in. Now, next thing is this kind of flower again, as I already said, because this is the main part of this bouquet, we are going to make same kind of flower with a different color. So right now I'll be using a light yellow color, or you can even take a fluorescent color if you want, if you don't have a yellow color. And the main aim is to have a light color before for the base and then a darker color for the curves. So the way I made this flower, I'm going to show the same technique again, but with a different color. I'm adding it somewhere here and I'm just drawing a circle. This is a yellow color. I hope it is visible to everyone. In case not, please let me know. I'll zoom it more. I can zoom it right now. Yes. So this is a small circle. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just laying this brush pen a little down and adding few more circular designs around it like this. You can leave a little bit of white space in between. And I think this much big flower is enough. Now, as I did before, I'm just adding a few curved corners to this flower, just to give a natural look, because this is the most easiest way to make a rose flower. So as we did for the first flower, now I'm going to use a dark color, which is in good contrast with the previous color I used. That is, I used the yellow color. So I think a red color would be a good contrast, or a dark color for my yellow flower. What I'm going to do is I'm just adding few curves with the tip of my brush pen. So I think I didn't tell in the previous flower, the curves, when we give some curves in the same direction, like this, keeping a little bit of distance in between, this is called directional lines, because we are giving these strokes or these lines in one direction and in one even direction. So this technique is called directional lines. Next thing is blending them together. So I'll be using the same yellow color and overlapping it on my red curves like this. So this you can see in your art and in mine too, that the color is changing and it is adding a new shade to your flower. Try to do this in one direction so that it is more neat and more clearer. So I'm using a dark brown color to make some dots in the middle. Since we used a yellow color already, I don't want to use a yellow color in the center as I did for the first flower. I'm just keeping it white and just adding in some brown color and through these dots. And this process, as I told earlier, is called stippling. In case you want to write these techniques, you can write them and it would be easier for you to use it in your future artworks. So I added more stipples or added more dots to it. And the last step, which I forgot to do, is that I'm using the same red color which I used initially for the curves again on it so that those curves are visible still after blending them. Just use your tip and do it very lightly. No need to press it much for the brush pens. So we are done with this second flower. So we are just adding more floral design to our bouquet. And I have taken this purple color to add a few more buds to my bouquet. So this yellow flower, which we have made, the second flower that we have made, I'm going to add some kind of buds on this side of this yellow flower. And there is an easy way how to make them. Just see it and then you'll be able to make them easily. So I'm just zooming it to show the process. I'm just laying down this marker, this brush pen, and I'm putting it here like this. And I'm making a circular motion like this. So it's making a kind of droplet shape for me, a kind of a bud, small bud for me. So this is what I'm going to do for rest of the buds, placing it like this and rotating it like this. It's very easy to do. Don't put too much of pressure. Do it very lightly because the ink will come on it and it will come out good even when you do it quite lightly like this. So keep on adding more. You can do them in different directions. Like you can do it like this. You can do it like on the left or on the right or straight. So the aim is to make the bouquet more colorful and to cover the sheet more so that the colors brighten up our art. I hope this technique is easy for all of you and I'm repeating it so you can see it again. So I'm adding more. First I used a purple color. Now I'm going to use a lighter color like a light pink color and add more buds. You can even overlap them over the darker color that you've used. Like I'm overlapping the pink on purple like this, and it is even blending together. So as big as you want to make it, you can. So I'm just giving an uneven ending to it like this, a kind of a heart shape. If you want to brighten it up more, you can use a yellow color or even an orange color and add more buds in between. You can overlap it on the previous color that you used. So this is how it looks Just take a light green color or even a dark green color if you don't have a light green, but preferably use a light green color. And you can see this, there is some space here for me. In case you have a nice space on the side, just draw a simple stem like this. And you can see first, and I think you'll be able to follow it. Just use the tip of your brush pen and draw a line like this, a simple curved line like this. And this step we have to continue further throughout the stem like this. So just give very less pressure and do like this and keep on adding more of such like this. So initially it will be a little slow, but as you get used to it, it will be faster for you. So we are making a kind of fern by adding a few curves in the same direction. So that's why this technique is called directional lines, since we are moving in the same direction to make a design through some curved lines like this. I'll be repeating it again since it's a little tougher step. I'm going to do the same thing again for the other side of the stem like this. Just add a little curve and keep on overlapping and keep on adding more throughout the stem. Make them small, make them big, but just be in the same direction. If you want to add more, just keep on adding more, because what I told earlier, brush pens, they give another shade if we add more color, same color on, overlap it, it will give a darker shade like here. Earlier it was light, now it has become a little dark with the same color. So just do it smoothly, don't put much pressure. And I am going to add a new shade to it, that's a dark green color. And I'll be overlapping it over the light green color. I'm just adding a stem and then using this dark green color, overlap it on the light green color. We have some space on the top. So what I'm going to do is I am going to take a yellow color and add a few stems on the top like this. Add on the side. It's yellow color. I hope it's clear. I'm zooming it more. One more small stem on the side and few more on the other side. Just a little curves. Now I'm going to add some leaves, yellow leaves to it. Simple droplet shaped, and color them in like this. Just add as many leaves as you want. Just move your brush pens in a circular motion and it will be easier for you to cover it up. And it will fill in earlier and quicker. Just the way I'm doing. So this is how it looks. Same way we can make one more of it. Same way, same design. One curve for the stem, a few more curves on the side. And then the leaves. The best way is to just use the tip and move it in a rounded or a circular way, and it will fill in your leaf easier, in an easier way and quite quicker. So since we've been using about 2 shades in every design, I am going to use an orange color to overlap it on my yellow color like this. So it is blending in with the yellow color, and I'm going to add it to some parts of my leaves as well as the stem. So you can use your judgment wherever you want to have a double shade on your yellow leaves, you can have that. So this is again called blending. So this has given a dual shade to the leaves. Somewhere they are dark, somewhere they are light. And you can even take a brown color and again overlap it on your yellow and orange color that you have used for the leaves. And just use the tip and use it anywhere you want just to give one more shade to the leaves or any design that you'll make in future. So you can even give a nice outline to the leaf with this. So I'm using it anywhere I want. I'm not covering it with brown throughout, just somewhere here or there, giving a gap and then using yellow, brown on the yellow or an orange color. So I think these 3 shades give a good texture to the yellow leaves that we made. We can make one more flower like this, but a smaller version of it, somewhere on the right side of the stem that we made, the first part that we made. Let's make a small flower like this or like this color, somewhere here on the right side. So I'm using again my yellow color, and this will be quite easy. As I said earlier, that as you keep on repeating the same steps again and again, you'll be an expert in this. So let's make a small circle and then add more circles around it. So I think this much small flower is enough for this side. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay down my brush pen and just add a few more shades of yellow to it, in between leaving a little bit of white like this. And then I'm going to add a few curved corners to it. like this. And then the same thing again. Now, a little bit of change, what I'm doing is I'm going to use an orange color over the yellow color. It is quite light. And then we can do a red color for the curves again on the same flower. So same way as we did, I'm going to add a few curves with the tip of the brush. This is quite light. I added orange. Now I'm going to add red for the curves. So for the thinner lines, I'm just using the tip. And now I'm adding a few dots in the middle, that is called stippling, with the red color only. Next thing is blending. Yellow color again. And just pressing it on the red color that I used for the curves. Just move it smoothly in the same direction and it will give a new shade to your flower. Just use it in between so that it reflects nicely on your flower. And another step, the last step, is use the red color again and add the curves on it. And the flower is complete. I'm keeping it zoomed, a little unzoomed, like this. And then we can move to the next step. Let's add a few more flowers like these, the small flowers that we made initially with a different color. I used a purple color earlier. I can use a darker color like a magenta for my small flowers, new small flowers, somewhere around the yellow, big yellow flower that I made here. So it's the same thing that we are doing, just draw a simple circle and draw a triangle. Triangular petals around the flower, around the circle, as many petals as are good around your circle. And just color it, moving forward and backward using the forward and backward shading technique. Moving in the same direction is the best way to give a clear and neat look to your design, whichever design you are making. I'll be adding 2 more around this. And then coloring it. One more to go. You can add as many flowers as are good around your rose flower. And the next thing is to fill in the space in between with the yellow color. And next thing is to add a few leaves. Now here I'm using some dark green color. for the leaves is a simple green droplets like this, one curve and the other curve, and just fill in it. I'm adding these leaves in between the petals. You can add more leaves according to the judgment, as many leaves that suit your bouquet. And this flower that we made, the small flower that we made, we can add more leaves to it too, to make it, to give it a complete look. So I'm using the same dark green color and using it for making a leaf or a few leaves around this flower. I think I was muted. Yeah. So I was just saying that I drew the leaves here, and now I'm going to add a fern just the way I did here. So in case anybody was not clear for the first fern, I'm going to do it again so that it's clearer for you. I'm just adding a few curves, that is called directional lines, like this, in the same direction. On one side, and then adding the curves on the other side of the stem. Just do it lightly and just do it with a flow. You can overlap it with the same color so that it gives a darker shade. Now I used a dark green color and a light green color for this fern. To add more glow to it, we can even use a yellow color for it and just overlap the yellow color over the green color in the same direction. And I think you will see a little bit of glow, a little bit of brightness to the fern. And there's a kind of blending. As I overlap the yellow on the green, it gives a new shade to the fern too. So this is called blending. I think we have done a lot of ferns and leaves. adding a few more small flowers, and one big flower would complete our floral design. So let's do the easier part first. I'm just taking an orange color and making a few small flowers here. Or I have changed, I think taking a red color would add more brightness to it. So I'll be taking a red color for this part of the flowers. I'll be making the same kind of flowers, but the petals will be oval here. So just a small rounded circle and draw a few rounded petals around it, just to add a variety to your to your bouquet. And then just go forward and backward and color the flower. Again, a small circle. And then some circles around it, as many as you can make. And then color it. Now we can take even a fluorescent color to add more brightness to it. And draw a little circle. As much space as you have, just try to cover it. I'll just zoom it. It might not be that much visible on the screen, but if you use it for your art, it will be quite visible. And it will brighten up the bouquet. I'm even adding somewhere here on the stems a few leaves with this fluorescent design, fluorescent color. And I'm just moving to and fro. So here I have made a flower that is orange color. I think I got muted. I don't know how, but I think you must be seeing that I made an oval shape the same way as we did for the 3 flowers earlier. And I just moved it circular in a circular way, and this process is called scumbling. Next thing I'm doing is same thing again, taking a red color and adding a few curves to the flower. I'll unzoom it a little. And the same thing again, take the orange color, the base color that I used, and then overlap it with the red color, with the orange color over the red color. So this is adding a nice shade to the base, that is the orange color we used. Just do it lightly and As you all know, we will be using a yellow color to color the inside. And we can even add some hint of yellow inside this flower, anywhere you want to add on this flower in case you don't want to keep any white portion on it. And next thing is stippling, that is adding dots. In the middle, which is called stippling. And one more flower is complete. So it's just simple. We are just adding a few more leaves. I'm adding around this flower. Wherever you feel like you can do it, or you can follow the way I'm doing. And now I'm just adding a stem somewhere here and adding a few leaves around it. We can even add a fern, just a curve, and then a few directional lines. I'm just repeating those techniques so that it's easier for you to remember and you can use them for future. And I am just adding on the other side. Overlapping them, adding a darker shade with the same color. And then I can even use a dark green color on it as we did for the previous ferns. And overlap it on the light color. Now just to fill in a little bit of more space, we can add a few pink flowers or any other color of your choice around somewhere here and here. So it's quite a quick step, just around circle, a circular design. And then a few petals. You can make the triangular ones or you can make the oval ones. That's your choice. I'm making the oval ones. And I'm then coloring them with the to and fro method that is called forward and backward shading. Making one more. This is the simplest flower. Now adding a red flower. Coloring it in. And as we did previously, just fill in the inner spot with yellow color. Add a few leaves, taking a light green color. And making a few leaves. Somewhere here there is a little space. So we can fill it in. If you want to add leaves, you can do that. If you want to add some flowers, you can do that too. I'm just adding a few flowers to it. Take any color of your choice, make a round, and make a few petals. And then color it in. Taking one more color and make the flower. Then fill it in with the yellow color as we have been doing earlier. And the last thing is make a few leaves around to give a complete look to the flower. So we are done with the entire design.